Hey everyone, my name's Cody. This is a game I'm working on called Chronicles of Virtue. It's a tactical RPG. You play as Arya and her team that she assembles in a world that's just been introduced to magic. As you kind of progress through the story, you learn to harness that magic, and so do your enemies. So today we're going to be working on developing spell animations. So we've got a couple different things we've been working on. We have kind of our fire spells implemented here, and so I can kind of show you that. It looks something like this, and what we're gonna try to do here today is kind of work on some of the other elements. The way spells work in this game is essentially every weapon has access to different spells in different elements depending on what the weapon is. And so what I want to do is take the spells that have kind of an area effect and implement that. Right now, this is what fire looks like. It's kind of coming along. Today, I'm going to try to start, I think, with lightning and go from there. Probably lightning, ice. Ultimately, I think it'll work out pretty well, though. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with closing this out, and we'll go from here. All right. Let's see. My view looks a little off here for some reason. Let me see if I need to fix something real quick. Yeah. That's all right. I'm not sure what happened, but that is okay. All right, starting to look better here. There we go. I think that works. All right. I had another screen to my setup over here, which is probably why it messed up. But that's okay. All right, here we go. So, first thing I want to do is kind of just start building the shaders. The way I think I'm going to do this, I think I'm going to change this from element effect to like fire effect and fire sparkle maybe, or fire extras. Essentially what happens here, right, is the script turns both these on. They're both a one shot, so it turns both of them on at the same time, which kind of gives a pretty good fire effect. If I did it this way, then I would essentially just need to come in here and build up each of them, which would be kind of nice. So I think that's essentially what I need to do here. Let's start there. All right. Starting then, and I was having some stream issues yesterday. I think those have since been fixed. Essentially what I did here was running off my CPU instead of my GPU now in terms of streaming software, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so let's go back to my script here and just call out I'll call out fire effect and fire extras. And then I need to essentially look at the element. There's a couple things I want to change. So if I go back to like spell emitter, for example, depending on the power of the spell, I can have different amount of fire and different amount of sparkle stuff going on. So if I turn off one shot and turn this on, this is kind of what it looks like. There's things we could do to make it look a little more intense. We can increase like the amount, right? I mean, that's way too much fire. Oh, those are the sparkles. We could do that. Like fire, we could make that's way more intense than where it was, right? And something like that's less intense. So I think 50 is probably the base we want, but we can kind of go from there. And like these sparkle things, yeah, I guess I could do a whole lot more, which might be kind of nice. So we'll kind of look at that. And the nice thing is this is pretty easy to develop and test in. So as long as these stay one shots, it should be pretty straightforward. I do feel like my music's kind of loud today. I might pull it down a little bit. Too much. All right, it's probably better. All right. Oh, you know what? You know what it is? I know what it is. I froze the track. There we go. I can change this back to what it was. I was trying to conserve CPU, so I had frozen my track. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Ableton, but essentially what that does is takes it and freezes all the settings so that it doesn't change and doesn't have to calculate things, but which saves some CPU, but I don't think I need it. Okay. Much better. So now what I'm gonna do is just copy this a few times. I'm gonna start with lightning. Hey, RMCT, good to see you again. Bonjour. How's it going? Sorry about the issues last night. They are much better today. So that's the good news here. Now just kind of working on the different effects, seeing if I can get some of this looking pretty good. Are you stuck on your game? You're building a what was it? Mirror's Edge like fighting game. Is that right? What are you getting stuck on? No, yeah, my PC's much better. It's been reset. I've dropped 0 frames this entire stream, so it's everything's much smoother. It's in much better shape. I don't know what was going on. Wall running. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. I could definitely see that getting tough. Collision boxes and things. Luckily in my tactical RPG world, collision boxes aren't all that important because everything's on a grid system, so a little bit lucky there. Yeah, please do. I don't know if this might the auto mod, if you're not a certain age, will probably kick you back. But if you post it in Discord, I just posted a by command. Oh, my Discord command didn't work, did it? Yeah. So auto mod's gonna keep you from posting a link unless you're of a certain age account. Yeah, I don't know why my Discord command's broken, but that's okay. I'll share this if you want to go. If you want to go put it in there, I'm happy to share it here and take a look. Let me see. How do I invite people? Right here. Copy. All right, let me share that here. Yeah, if you go post in this Discord, we share a lot of different like people's work in here and talk through it. And most of the time, I'll pull it up on stream. We can look at things. So. All right. I'll definitely pull it up. Let's see. Yeah, let me know whenever you post it in here and I can pull it from there. Here, I can show you this though. I can show you real quick where I'm at. I need to update this script first. And that's over in Casting Magic. This is the script we were working on yesterday. I'm essentially just changing this to fire effect and this to fire extras. Yeah. I could show you kind of what that looks like here. Very nice. Do you care if I watch this real quick? I don't know if it'll pull up on stream. We'll take a look. We'll take a quick break while that's loading up the game. Nice. Yeah. I like it. Very nice. Do you have any of your wall running on here? I like it. I like the art style. The art style is pretty cool. Did you do all those drawings yourself, or did you find assets? Nice. Big fan. Sweet. I like it. It's dope. No, I can't get to my minimize Discord because okay. Here we go. Now I should be able to minimize Discord. No, it's sweet. Oh, new version. All right, is this the wall? This is the wall where you're at the wall jumping. Nice, nice. Different gun style, right? So you're gonna have like all those different styles, like just different characters. Very good. Cool projectiles. Oh yeah, gotcha. Makes sense. Man, it loads fast. I don't know if that's edited, but man, it loads super fast. Nodded. I don't know what you're running it on, but maybe I have a problem. Mine takes a little while to load. Nice. Saw that flip. I guess so. Maybe I need to upgrade. That looks good though. Very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Very nice. All right. I'll show you where we're at with here. So this is seem much smoother today. So yesterday I did get the kind of fire stuff working here. So I'll show it to you. Yeah, what am I on? I might be on 4.2. I'm not sure if there's a big difference there. I don't think I've upgraded to 4.3 yet. Oops, dang it, we missed the fire because I was playing with settings. But anyway, we caught the end of it. It's kind of what fire looks like right now. Yeah, it's coming along. I think I want to next here do lightning. So I think that's what I'm gonna do today. I have some art for it, for the different things. I just need to go pull some of the assets. But anyway, cool. I'll have to try out 4.3. I think this would translate pretty well to 4.3. Yeah, I'm not gonna do ice. I'm gonna do lightning. But yeah, I'll check it out. I think most things are backwards compatible. I know there's a few functions that aren't, but I imagine that's pretty straightforward. One thing I do need to do here is I need to match up the element with the name of the emitter here. I don't want a bunch of if statements because that's kind of it's kind of annoying. So what I'll probably do is create a dictionary. Oh, I don't even need to. I just name these the name of the elements. So what I do is I say variable. Really? I didn't know there was a huge difference. Never tried using Godot 3. So what kind of issues are you running into? And then here I'll say effect particles equals string of magic spell dot magic cast dot element name comma effect, and then do the same thing for effect extras equals that extras. And then this would just be effect particles and effect extras. I think that's all I have to do. We will find out. I'm sure it'll break because, you know, it can't work right the first time. Yeah. No, absolutely get that. For sure. So, well, I hope you get the time. You know, if that recharges you, I hope you get time to work on it, and that you're able to make progress. All right, let's see if this still works or if I broke something. Man, that's a little choppy. I might need to optimize that code. So the reason this is so choppy is that like there's a lot of calculations going on behind the scenes here. So when you hit that, it's calculating a new position in that priority list in the top left. It's kind of covered by chat a little bit, but essentially what happens is it does this whole calculation, determine where in the move order it needs to be. I need to optimize that algorithm. So anyway, I gotcha. So it only works in Godot 3. I wonder if like the difference between Godot 3 and Godot 4 is fairly minor, where you'd be able to make some updates. I'm not exactly sure what changed there, but there may be something you can do there. I'm sure it wouldn't work just, right out of the package, but I'm sure it's not too bad. Yeah, that worked very, very well. And it looked great. So that's good. Yeah, I do know it's a big upgrade. I'm thinking a lot of the functions. Yeah, good. Let me know how it goes. Hopefully you can get it working. I think wall running in your game would look really good. Yeah, so this looks really good. So ultimately then lightning effects, whatever I make here is just gonna run automatically. So now all I have to do is focus on making these emitters look good. So hopefully my S's aren't too sharp. In my IEMs, they sound real harsh to the ear. Let me know if that's the case. I can actually turn my de-esser up a little bit. I might just do it anyway. Check. S. There you go. Let me know if that's better. Oh, it sounds so much better. Okay. So let me turn this on. Let me turn off one shot. All right. So ultimately here, I'm going to replace the fire with some lightning. I don't know what else I'm going to change yet. I'm sure I'll change some things. Okay. So the way this works is it references a, probably in Albedo, it references this flipbook, and I need to change out the flipbook from a fire flipbook to my lightning flipbook. So if I go here to effects, I have lightning, which obviously looks really bad, right? So there's some things we need to do here. Let's see here. So transparency. Let's see. Interesting. I need to find where the, I'm trying to remember his. Yeah, I do. I do like the fire. I think the fire looks pretty decent. Here, I'll run that for a second. I think before we get into lightning too much, I think the little sparkle things look pretty okay. I'm glad I did that actually, because one thing I did not do was set the new scene as local, right? So I definitely need to do that. And so yeah, I think it looks pretty good with the sparkles. Okay, so let's see. Essentially what's going on is this particle process material right here. I need to make that unique, and I need to make everything underneath it unique. So so otherwise, essentially, when I make a change here, it would change here. I don't want that. I need to make this unique as well. So now what I should be able to do, let me see if this one's on. This one's on. So now I should be able to go back here, flip out my flip book here with this one, and then go back to this fire effect. Man, it did change it. Oh, it's because it's in draw passes. Okay. All right, so I need to make this unique as well. Glad I went back to that. Okay. Make that unique. Very good. Okay, so this should be, let's change this to lightning real quick. All right. So let's go ahead and hit play. Cool, that's lightning. Let's go ahead and hit play on the fire. Perfect. Okay, now they're different. All right, cool. All right, I need to find in here the settings for my mapping to try to get rid of the black background. This should be really straightforward. It should be in the material. I actually thought it'd be an alpha, but there you go. So that's all I really should have to do is add to the blend mode. Obviously this looks really bad. That mostly has to do with how it's spawning. Let's see if I make... Gotta think through what this would look like. And obviously the blockiness needs to go away as well. Hey, Loki Trickster, how's it going? Hope things are going well. I was glad to see you finish up your thing you're doing the other night. Good to see you making progress. Okay. Here I'm just messing with some of the settings to get the colors looking right. I'm gonna turn this down to like something like 5. Okay. Let's see if I can get this to not be so blocky. Essentially, I don't want it to be like squares going up, right? I want it to look like continuous. I bet I want it to go really fast. So let's see if I can make that happen. So if I come over here and I come to velocity, where's that at? Not accelerations, spawn, velocity. Let's see. Initial velocity should be a thing. Okay, so I want to turn this up. It might be too high. Okay, let's turn it back up. This just looks real ridiculous. I may have to take another. Oh, you know what? I don't think, hold up. Let's turn this to 1 real quick. Turn off the velocity. I don't think my animation's animating. Is it? Let me turn this to 0. I mean, it is. I guess maybe I don't need any sort of animation at all. So let's see, now my animation's going. Like, obviously that's not great. Okay. I think it's starting to get better. Like, it's not good obviously yet, but it's starting to get better maybe. Let me go check out animation speed. I wonder if, let me think this through a little bit. I guess I could probably put some hue variations a little bit. I'm trying to think of, like, is it color? Obviously the blockiness doesn't help, so I probably need some sort of color curve in there. that changes the alpha. So I just need it to be softer, either softer or I might need some glow, right? So if I want it to have extra glow, I need to take this up greater than 1. Okay, but that's not really doing much there. So let me go down here to this color. Does this color affect it? Yes. Okay. All right, too much glow. I mean, that kind of looked not pretty bad. All right. Now I think I need it to be, what, taller? This is ridiculous looking. Okay. Man, it's just so blocky, right? Like the edges are just so blocky, and I get it. Let's do this. First off, let's slow it down because all that flashing is giving me a headache. Okay, what I want, I think here, I think I'm missing part of the animation, and that's what the problem. I think my box is bad. Let's see. I don't think proximity fade really matters here. Let's see. Okay. That might look a little better than unshaded. Okay, that's a note. I'm gonna note that because I might go back to that. Let's see. Otherwise, I feel like what's going on, right, is I'm just not getting all of my images. Like if I look at this flipbook image, clearly there's some space around the edge, and it is not giving me that. Which I could just have a setting. Let's see. That's the setting I just did here. I feel like it is clipping off the edges here. So why is it clipping the edges? That could be in how the texture is laid out on it. Yeah, I guess it really doesn't need to receive shadows, which is fine. Okay. Maybe I do go up here and look in the... let's go with the set scale. I'm just not sure why it's clipping at the edge. Let me see, maybe I do have like a something in here. Maybe the visibility 8? No, I don't think that's the case. Nah, that should stay. Oh, this is complicated here. I do want that to be flat. trying to determine what essentially, like, why is this? I don't need any velocity. Why is this clipping at the edge? I think that solves my problems. I gotta get rid of some color curves here. Well, actually, I may still be able to use them to blur out the edges, but I don't think that really helps me that much. Okay, the animation speed of light is constant, right? I can just make that 1. Maybe that smooths out a little bit. I don't think more drawing passes helps me here, right? No, because then I'd have to add another texture. Well, I could try, I guess I could try center offset a little bit. See, I can move it around. I really think I'm just clipping for some reason. Let's look at this material again. It's probably in the material. You can kind of see it over a little bit. I wonder if I have something sliding me over. I don't have an offset on, but I could offset it. Let's real quick turn off the bouncing around. So I basically want to set my bounding box. I'm going to do a point instead. Okay. Sorry for the flashing. If the flashing gets too bad, let me know and we can do something about it. Okay, so then I have this. So let's see this offset, if I can get it. Interesting. I feel like my box is just too small, which I guess is within this. But I thought that was scale, right? Maybe it's not scale. Okay, I think I want this to be like a 2 by. All right, so it's still like within that box. So then if that's the case, let's take this texture and scale it down. There we go. Let's see if I can get 1 in there. I think we're getting close, guys. All right, that looks pretty good. I just wanted to not clip off on the edge. I should be able to set like to not repeat itself. Oh, shoot. Let me go back to that. I should be able to set to not repeat itself. Is there a... Let's see. That's one thing I need to do is, let me look at my flipbook real quick. I need to count the animations and make sure that I have the right number here. Oh, is it just that? No, that's a flipbook. I'm fairly confident. Let me pull that up here. So it's just a 2x2 flipbook. That probably does help. So let me go set that to be 2x2. Essentially what we were looking at there were the settings for the flipbook to tell it what the animation is. And I have it set on a 5x5 because that's what the fire is. But this is a 2x2. All right, loop on. I don't know if the loop really helps. All right, that's interesting. Let's see if I can. Now it's just slow, obviously. All right. That's starting to look much better. Obviously, that's super slow. So we need to speed it up. That is much more like what I was looking for, though. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna double check. Yep, it is a 2x2 flip book. Let's see here. It's starting to look a little bit better. Now if I have like 5 of them spawning. Okay, so then what I can do is, instead of point, let's do a box. Hey, I think we're starting to get there. I could make it a lot taller. Let's see. First off, let's make the animation speed a bit faster. Where's my animation speed? Animation. Okay, so let me turn the loop on real quick. They're all lined up, so I think what I want to do is like go between 3 and 7. I think that's starting to look like lightning, right? I mean, that's getting there. Let me make it a lot taller, like a lot taller. Let's see what happens. All right, move it up. I want to essentially end at ground-ish. Kind of wondering if I should make this like, no, I should make it real tall. Maybe even should make it short. Right, because it's a spell. If you think about it, it's probably pretty localized. I don't think it's gonna be like coming from the sky necessarily. It's probably fine if it's just kind of localized. No, that's starting to look pretty decent though. Let's see if we can get some more randomization in there. Let's see. I do also want it to, do I want the fade out? I might get rid of the fade now at this point. Because I probably don't want it to fade. I want it to have a definitive point. Right. Scale, I probably could change the scale from like 0.5 to like 3.5 maybe. That might be too big. So maybe like 2.5. Something like that. Remember, it's a one shot, so essentially what will happen is when the spell goes off, it'll go like this. It might be too much variation. I also don't like that it's centered here. So what I probably want to do, I probably do want to set this back down to, we go to the position here. Probably do want to set this back to 0. And I'm gonna want it, I think. Let's go ahead and set this to 0. Well, yeah, that's probably fine. I don't want it to start from the center. I want, so I guess I could center offset this by 1. Oh, I guess I could do a smaller box spawning particles. So like I have this box, I can make my box. Right now it's a 1 by 1 by 1 box. I can probably make it like a ring instead of a box. Let's go back to this. Make it a ring. I think that looks pretty decent. And then lightning extras. Is that doing anything right now? That's doing nothing right now. Oh, it's because it's not emitting. All right. Let's go here. Turn off one shot. Let's go ahead and get some of this going. Because I really think like fire, right? I really think they look best like in tandem. It's like we have the fire, we have kind of the particles. I think that's when it looks absolute best. So I want to try to do something similar with the lightning. And so the plan here is you got the lightning, which I think looks pretty decent. And then gonna have these little extra effects here. Let's see if we can make it look decent. So the texture here that I'm gonna apply instead of this, I have I gotta decide what I want. I think the plan here was to do this noise. You know, maybe even the same texture but little. Nah, I think this is okay. We would make this. We'd make this maybe like blue. And then I think what we would do is, let me go ahead and get it going. I think these are good because these are like the same effect I have on the that's like the same effect I'm used for like charging magic as these same particles. So I might use a lot of these same particles, but in different ways. So let's see if we make this like 100. They're kind of just like overshadowed a lot by the lightning. I mean, there's a lot going on there, but they're kind of light, right? But I mean, that does look decent. What I might do here is just make them ultra bright. So like if I go to the albedo, that's fine, but let's take this up to like 3. So they're gonna glow, right? Something like that. That looks pretty magical. All right, let's turn them all to one shot. Let's see what it looks like. Make sure these are on one shot as well. They are not. All right, let's see what happens. Let's take a look here. I do think it's coming along. It's starting to look pretty decent. All right, let's take a look. So we can wait. I do think this is gonna be a little bit over the top. Let's take a look. So black magic, lightning. I mean, not bad, a little intense. The all the particles flying down was a little bit intense. The lightning itself wasn't terrible. Probably could use some tweaking. I could have that end earlier, I think, in general. But not terrible. Okay, so maybe like 100 of these and maybe like a lifetime of 2 seconds. I want to actually do the same with the fire. The fire, or I keep it, right? Because it's, okay, so here's my thought here. You have the charging, right? And the charging, you are essentially collecting those same particles that you see there. So really what you're kind of expelling there are those same kind of particles. If those particles are just kind of what manifests the magic, maybe it makes sense to have a lot of them that just kind of spill out over after the spell is done. And maybe that's not too bad. Let's find out. I need to update that Godot screen to something interesting on the load. One thing that's funny is the way I'm implementing this right now, I haven't tested this. I fully expect her to be engulfed in fire when her weapon gets engulfed in fire. Let's find out here. Yeah, I also didn't make the things unique, which honestly the little sparkles when I do it are pretty cool. I could probably keep them. But yeah, I mean, I don't need to be engulfed in the element I'm trying to cast, I don't think. All right, let's look at it one more time. Yeah, I don't think that's, I mean, honestly, it was kind of cool him holding up the weapon and getting shocked, but probably not necessary. All right, that's not bad though. Honestly, it looks pretty decent. I mean, obviously it's not great, but I'm kind of trying to get, I might set this back to 50. I think I'm gonna make the extra sparkles, extra particles, kind of consistent with how much like magic you're using, maybe how much mana or something, or how much the charge time is. That way it's like the longer you charge, the more of those particles are kind of expended. That'd be pretty easy to implement as well. All right, is there anything else I want to change on this? Ultimately, this looks kind of decent actually. Not bad. I could do both. I do want to slide it up. Actually, maybe I don't. Then the little lightnings will be. Yeah, I don't think I want to. Okay, let's turn them back on. One shots. There you go. All right, that's looking pretty good. Very good. Okay, in my spell here, I gotta think through how, because like my spells right now don't really differentiate between if I'm like just buffing something or if I'm actually casting like an offensive spell. So I got to think about that one because I definitely don't want, I want the particles. I like the particles on it in every case. But I don't want every time I like cast a buff on myself for the fire to come all over myself. The fire goes on the weapon. So I need something in the magic spell to trigger, whether it's a buff or not. Let me go look at those spells and see if there's a good trigger. I think I might actually have like a buff, like is buff. I do have a buff icon. I don't know that I use it all the time. I could. Actually might. No, yeah, I don't do a great job at using it all the time. But I will. I'll probably use that. If it's a buff, don't cast it. I think that's a pretty simple way to do it. Let me real quick do that. icon. Oh, that's going to be later. All right, shocking blade is a buff. Stone blade is a buff. Water blade is a buff. And wind blade is a buff. All right, so then what I can say is pretty easily, if magic spell dot magic cast dot buff, and I'll say if not, do that, and then I think that solves that problem. And this looks pretty good. Okay, so we got lightning. I think the next scene then would be, let's see. I could do wind. Which wind, honestly, what I could do is, okay. I just thought of another thing I could do is I have all of the, like the colors for the particles in the elements. I might just need one of these instead of having a bunch of extra ones. Just have, like, I can just say particle extras. I could not do this, and I could say, hey, go ahead and throw my particle extras here. And then I could say here, not emitting, but I could say dot, let's see. Where would this be? This would be in material override. And actually, let me go into my weapon when I have